Hello, I am interrupting the lunch of Patrick Padley very impolitely because that's the kind of guy I am. And we're trying to find out about his blog and what he thinks of the conference so far. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I run a podcast called In Between Sundays, and I also blog on my own website, patrickpadley.com. And but our podcast is dedicated to young adults and kind of helping grow their spirituality in different ways, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And we just sort of show that you can be a young adult and be Catholic and not be so stiff, you know. But it's pretty much almost a weekly program. I produce it with my other brother, Nick, and yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been podcasting for about 3.5 years now. So I first started on a college podcast called On the U, and it's also on SQPN, and yeah, got into it in college.
And you do this with your brother who's sitting next to you?
No, this is our other brother, Brian.
Your other brother, so you're not involved in this podcast at all?
I've been a guest.
I've been a guest.
So now you're a guest on this interview as well.
Yeah.
And what's the response been so far?
It's been really really good. I mean, I think right now there's this void in the church. You know, like we're also used to growing up with like a young youth ministry, you know, in our parishes and things. But then once you get out of college, there's no support system. You're starting new jobs. You know, you're getting married and all these things. So far, there's been a big response of people really liking it because, because it's young adults and there's a need right now for that.
And what kind of a draw do you get so far? Has the response been pretty positive?
Yeah, I mean, I would say on average, like our episodes probably get somewhere around 800 downloads per episode, like when we put out a new one. And then of course you get the residuals, like people who are new and then they go back and they listen to some of the older episodes. But yeah, I would say pretty well. I mean, if we get one download, I think that's awesome, you know.
All right, and where can you be found again?
You can find our podcast at inbetweensundays.com, or you can just search In Between Sundays.
See?
Or
Suzanne gives you a thumbs up.
There we go.
So you have to include Suzanne because every time I've taped her, something's gone wrong with the camera. I still have to edit that. So Brian, as the guest on this interview, what do you have to say as the guest speaker on this interview concerning anything you want to add?
I really enjoy listening to In Between Sundays. You guys should check it out. Like I said, inbetweensundays.com.
Well, I'd like to thank you both for your time, and
thank you.
We hope to see your podcast myself a little bit.
Yeah, sure.